Okay, let's try again. This is like take 6. My phone keeps shutting off with the slightest breeze. You'll see a lot of hairs on this jacket because I'm doing spring cleaning. Okay. It's a beautiful day. I got up at 6 o'clock this morning, 8 straight. But it was nasty, foggy, started raining around 7, was raining up until 20 or 30 minutes ago, but the Doppler was right. It's now almost 3 o'clock, the sun is out. Actually, it said the sun would come out at around 1. And in my last video, I told you that I would tell you about Texas rules. Especially because, you know, for 30 to 40 years, these companies that get hired, they survey 140 countries. And they ask them, when you think about America, what do you think about? Well, number one is that we make the best arms on earth, which is not true, because the Canadians, in 1957, when I was 3 years old, the Canadians built the best jet fighter interceptor ever made, which is only until recently did the Russians. It took the Russians literally 57 years or something to match what the Canadians, who became the heart of NASA and Boeing and Western Aerospace, to match what they did. And so on actually very little money. Actually, almost every fighter jet now, they're all based on Canadian technology. And as I normally say, why do you need glasses when you have a bottle? Okay. I bet you there's a lot of little gray hairs around here. I've been trimming, shaving, etc. Actually, I like it when it's short because it really makes keep my hang on. As I was saying before, when they ask the whole world, what do you think about America? They have 2 standard answers for. There's about 100 of these studies. They say the making of armaments, which is not entirely true. Our armaments, our rifles and our aircraft are far worse than many other countries. But they say, Texas cowboy, that's what the number one world, what they think about. And I'm here to tell you about Texas gentlemen, Texas cowboys, and to school you about the most respected people in Hollywood, around the world, because we're some badass mofos. And we have a set standard of protocol, which I'm going to start outlining right now. And I know, because I can feel it, that sun that they promised me 2 hours ago is finally here. I can see myself on the screen. I'm 2 feet away. Okay. Texas rule number 1. When a man approaches another man out in public, they size each other up. Okay? The man who's smaller, and I don't care if it's 1 inch, 12 inches, or 26 inches. If you're the smaller man, what you do when you approach a man like me is you nod your head like that in submission. Simple as that. Then you look up and I will give you a little slight nod back. That ain't happening now because we got so many millennials and people from Chicago or New York or Florida or from Crapville, whatever, don't know the rules. And because we Texans will mess you up if you don't follow the rules. You know, I have trouble. I was in town this morning. I already said that in the previous takes. I was in town this morning and stuff like that, and almost nobody. I had young people just saying hey or hi instead of calling me sir. And let me tell you before I get on, one of the rules that fits right in there is that we here in Texas address all males, whether they're 3 years old or 300 years old. We call you sir. I don't care if you're a 6-year-old boy, I call you sir, and you call me sir. That's one of the strict rules. If you don't call me sir, I know you're not from here, your parents weren't from here, or you're some kind of millennial piece of shit. Okay? That's the rules. When you approach, if you're shorter, I don't even care if it's an inch below my eyes, you nod first and then I nod. And you know what? That's almost gone out. That only happens in the smaller towns, smaller out, because otherwise you might get ill-treated by me or the people that you don't, you know. If you are some 5'4" Yankee, Mexicano, or whatever, and you think you're coming up against some 6'7" guy like me who's usually always pushing 270 to 300, if you think that you're not going to bow your head and be polite to me, I just might rearrange your nose like Trapmaster into 3 different directions in a heartbeat. That's the rules here. We call everybody sir. I'm addressed as sir or mister. And when I was in town today, almost nobody addressed me as mister, except for a couple of people. I had these little 18-year-old millennials, you know, pushing baskets and stuff like that at Walmart, calling me hey or whatever, you know. No, it's not the way it works. Then, after you have given the preliminary nod, after you bowed your head and recognized the fact that I can kick your ass, Texas rule number 1, you address me as sir or mister, if you know my last name, or any name, and then you, not me, you thrust your hand out, and I will decide whether or not I shake it or not. That's already like 3 or 4 Texas rules, which are inviolable under the Texas rules. You people, especially right now down at South by Southwest, you're not from here, you're from California, you're used to punking people and treating mature men like me who can break your arm with just my breath. You think you're going to actually not nod your head, not submit? No. This is Texas, the land of cowboys and Tommy Lee Jones, who lives out there. Tommy Lee Jones lives out there. He only goes to Hollywood when he feels like it. He's got some place out there on the Texas hill country rocks and stuff like that, feeds his own catfish. And you know what? Tommy Lee Jones is older than me, and I bet he can still whip your ass. So, I've got 5 minutes. I'm starting this as a long series before I get back to the Book of Kent, aliens, etc. I want to remind you people that are just fighting, and you know, they're having to hire U-Haul people to drive U-Haul trucks back to California. They're paying them twice as much as you paid to get here to Austin, Texas. You need to watch yourself here. We old, real-time Texans won't put up with any disrespect. None whatsoever. As a matter of fact, now, I no longer nod my head to anybody. I know it's real uncommon amongst the Chicano class. They don't nod, they don't, even though they're only, 4'11", they think that they're, up for the fight. No, you don't want to try that here in Texas. You 5'2", 5'6" Yankees and Californicanos that are coming here, don't even try it, because actually I have a reputation for, I'll mess you up. Respect Texas rules or get the fuck out. You won't make it here except in the inner cities where we contain all the liberal, cultural Marxists. In this state, which is 70% red, ultra-conservative, and like me, independent conservative, fuck you, Donald Trump. You're not a real conservative, you're a centrist appeaser. You got to live like in the gay area of Houston, that way, the Montrose, or you got to live in like gay, black Dallas, South Dallas 40. There's almost actually no place in Fort Worth. Or you got to live in Austin, which actually has less than 2% black people now, and half of those black people have college degrees and spit on the other black people that are trying to hang on there. But we understand the fact that Austin has these giant state hospitals for the blind and the deaf and stuff like that, so we'll always have at least 1% black population living on the dole and going to those schools. San Antonio, don't even try. You'll fucking get your cutthroat. Even there, even the tiniest wetback, mojado, will cut your throat if you don't do respeto, if you don't. But here in real Texas, we're seeing a real change. I've got less than 3 minutes. We're seeing a real change. I've only talked about a few items about nodding the head, and if you're the smaller man, stick your hand out, and the taller man may just stick his hand in his pocket to show you that he don't want to shake your hand. You need to learn before you try to come here and invade our space what Texas rules are. Actually, I'm going to finish this. I want to start it with this. The most decorated, the bravest soldier that survived World War II was a tiny-ass 4'10" Texan named Audie Murphy, who made a lot of love movies and stuff like that. And they used to dig trenches, so his female leading roles were mostly Yankee women that were 5'2" to 5'4". They would have to walk in the trench while Audie Murphy walked on the ground. Even the tiniest Texan can kill you, scalp you, and skin you. And you people that keep coming here and disrespecting us and not following our rules, you're screwed. You're not going to last here. Your vote means nothing here. You can just get the hell out. Really, right now. Especially if I don't, from now on, if you don't nod, put your hand out first, all the other rules of my ancestors, I'm going to fuck you up. Simple as that. I'm going to fuck you up. One way or the other. I'm going to fuck you up. Follow Texas rules or get the fuck out.